Now to matters closer to home, and Victoria Police Command wants you to forget about what they've been up to for the past couple of years. You know, harassing old women on park benches, arresting pregnant women in their kitchens for Facebook posts, enforcing playground bans on children, and their brutal response to anti-lockdown protests. Yes, please, forget all that. And remember, they are on our side. After 2 years of overreach and selective policing, the VicPol hierarchy want to rebuild their brand.
Police are promising more of this and this in a brand rebuilding exercise.
We're approachable, we're involved, we're working with them and we're here to help.
They're also hoping to repair a brand damaged by 2 years of unpopular COVID policing.
We know we've had to perform duties and engage with people, and it might not have been what they would have expected in the first instance because of the COVID environment we're in.
No, Commissioner, you didn't have to do any of the insanely illiberal and often downright brutal enforcement that you and your members of your command enthusiastically embrace. You didn't have to allow the police force to become politicised. You didn't have to stand with bureaucrats banning children from playgrounds. You know, want to build trust with the Victorian public? I can't imagine why.
Excuse me, what on earth?
Just put your phone down.
Can you like record
to...
this? I'm in my pyjamas.
What's
I
this?
An ultrasound in an hour.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
What the are you doing? What the are you doing?
Media! Media! Media!
Oh! They're throwing stuff now, and okay, they're shooting. They're now shooting.
We have seen Victoria Police behave abhorrently. We had officers in full riot gear even terrorising fruit and vegetable shoppers at Victoria Market. Again, the heavy-handed response to an anti-lockdown protest was in stark contrast to the force's attitude to a mass BLM march during lockdown. For BLM, there was restraint, no mass arrests or fines. But for those questioning why their kids' schools were closed and their livelihoods were being destroyed, they copped this. There is so much more I could show you, but this is only a 2-hour show. But I do want to highlight a couple of incidents that show just why so many law-abiding Victorians are normally pro-police now look at the force with suspicion. Now, this next incident didn't get any attention despite the brutality and clear misuse of a weapon. This is from an anti-lockdown protest in September last year. Note the officer in the back using his weapon to beat the man on the ground. No consequences, no repercussions for that. And then there was this brutality on the same day that police in full riot gear descended on the fruit and vegetable aisles of Victoria Market. Another police team in Epping were caught on camera stomping on the head of a man suffering a mental health episode.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Now, that poor victim ended up in an induced coma, and the incident was investigated. But guess what? You'll be happy to learn that the watchdog found that Victoria Police acted lawfully when head stomping a mentally ill man during arrest. Yes, put that together with the Sluggate saga, the intimidation of Dan Andrews' critics, the politicisation of the police force and selective policing practices, the Lawyer X scandal that completely undermined the criminal justice system, and the failure to properly swear in more than 1,000 officers, then you can see why there may be a crisis in trust in law enforcement in Victoria. And a little cheap PR isn't going to fix that. Police Command needs a clean-out, starting with Assistant Commissioner Luke Cornelius, who referred to anti-lockdown protesters as batshit crazy conspiracy theorists, but this was his attitude to BLM protesters during the pandemic.
Victoria Police understands and acknowledges the anger and frustration people feel about events taking place overseas and which are dominating our TV. We absolutely understand the sentiment and the anger that lies behind that, and we're very keen to support community here in giving voice to their concerns and their protests.
Yes, you can understand BLM protesters, but no consideration for people whose very livelihoods were being destroyed. Yes, Victoria Police's public image is badly damaged, and as long as the likes of Chief Wiggum over there are in key positions, that ain't going to change.